Hey everybody, it's Bret Buike here again with Buckeye Dealership Consulting, and it is Wisdom Wednesday once again. Last week, if you remember, we talked a little bit about CPI and the ways to make your program kind of excel, right? Like what are some of the tips and tricks for how to change the sales process, how to handle cancellations, and also how to take advantage of your existing portfolio. So I think we've talked a lot about how to implement CPI. We've kind of talked a lot about what CPI is. We've talked about it from a reinsurance standpoint. We've also talked about limited warranties and service contracts and how those are products that we can reinsure, right? And we've talked about the advantages of reinsuring those products. We've talked about the additional revenue streams that having these products can generate. But the one thing I really wanted to touch on today is the control aspect, right? So there's two other things that I want to talk about in relation to these products and to reinsurance in general. The first being control, the second being compliance, and today we're going to talk about control. So CPI is a great product, and it helps cover our cars. It saves money. We require full coverage insurance. It's all of those things, right? Limited warranties. Some of us may do it internally. Some of us may just verbalize it to the customer. Some of us may not have anything in writing, but we just kind of understand that one of the absolutes in buy here, pay here is if the car quits running, the customer quits paying, right? So we've just chalked it up to cost of doing business, that we will have to spend money to keep these cars running to help our customers out. Maybe some of us have set up, side notes or mechanical loans or things of that nature. Service contracts, whether you're reinsuring or you're selling a third-party reinsurance, are we doing that to make a little bit more money? Yes, of course we are, but we're also doing it to, obviously protect the vehicle, which is ultimately going to protect the portfolio. So what I wanted to talk about is, why are those things important? Right? Why is it important in the buy here, pay here space to be your own insurance agent? Why is it important to have that limited warranty or that service contract? Why should we consider things like, a GAP product if it makes sense for us, or a VSI product if it makes sense for us? And the reason is in buy here, pay here, we have all these expenses and all these things that we know are going to happen, right? We know we require full coverage insurance and our customers cancel it on us, right? CPI solves that problem. We know that it can be expensive. CPI solves that problem. But there's more to it than that, right? What we also know is, how much time do we spend acting as a collection agency for other insurance companies? How much manpower and how much time do we invest in hunting customers down, trying to make communication, telling them they need full coverage insurance, and getting them to go give money to somebody else? If you've ever repossessed someone because they didn't want to get full coverage insurance, raise your hand, right? So CPI solves those problems, which is great. But the other thing to remember is it also means that in the event of an incident, they call us, right? They're calling the dealer. They're saying, hey, I've got that CPI thing, right? I was just in an accident. Or, hey, they came in to make a payment and you noticed that the car was damaged. Well, is it the type of damage where it's like a little thing, it's like a fender bender, it's no big deal? Or is this the type of damage that's going to make this customer not want to drive this car? And is this the type of damage that's going to get worse and cause a mechanical problem? Is this something that's going to significantly depreciate the value of your car? Would it make sense to file a CPI claim? And the point that I'm getting to here is, in buy here, pay here, communication is very, very important. And we have technology for that. We've also taken a lot of our payments and put it online. So anything that we can do to touch that customer an additional time, or to find out that there's something wrong with the car, the better. So by creating a CPI program, you get all the great things about CPI, but you've also become the customer's point of contact, right? How many people have had a customer, even ones who have insurance or don't have insurance, wreck the car, not tell you anything, let the car get impounded, quit making payments, And then you find the car in an impound lot and you're like, what happened? You know, and then you've got to get the car out and you got to find out what happened. And it's because the customer had no reason to call you, because you're completely removed from the process of the car getting in an accident as far as they're concerned. Now, I'm sure they called their insurance company if they had it. And if they had CPI or they knew about CPI, would they call you at the dealership? Absolutely, they would, because you're their point of contact. You're the person who's going to solve the problem they've just created. And now you know about the accident before you get an $1,800 impound fee, or before the customer starts missing a whole bunch of payments. And now you can file a claim on that car. You can do what you need to do to, especially if it's a good paying customer, right? Because it's always the good paying customers we lose. We want to keep those. So the way to do that is you use the programs like the CPI, you become an additional point of contact. You've created another opportunity for that customer to talk to you, to communicate you when something bad happens, and bad things always happen, right? So now you're eliminating other problems for yourself, saving even more time and potentially saving a good paying customer. So that's a behind the scenes reason of why you want to be in the CPI business. Okay, now let's move forward to limited warranties and service contracts. Absolutely reinsurable products, highly customizable. You control the coverage, you control the cost, all those great things about reinsuring your service contracts, right? New revenue stream, everything. It's probably something you're doing already. It may be something that you're doing through a third party. Like we said earlier, it may be something that you've written something up crudely. It may be just something that you say to your customers verbally, if you have a problem, let us know, we'll take care of it, right? All of these things are common in our industry. But why do we do those things, right? We do those things because we know if the car quits running, the customer quits paying. So when you put something in black and white, this is what's covered, right? This is what your deductible is. Here's the number you call when you have that issue. What have we done? What have we created again? We've created another opportunity to put ourselves in the loop of what's going on with our customer and with our customer's contract and with our customer's car. The more opportunities we have to touch them, the better. This is why things like prepaid maintenance programs are offering reduced cost oil changes at your shop or at your dealership can be super beneficial, because if we create other reasons for them to call us other than make your payment, you're going to know what's going on in their life. You're going to be able to see the condition of that car. You may be able to avoid a serious mechanical repair because you caught it ahead of time, right? I mean, they see the check engine light come on, but if there's no plan in place for them to solve it, right? If they don't have a bunch of money laying aside, if they don't have a credit card that they can just pull in somewhere and get it fixed, or maybe you're a buy here, pay here dealer who doesn't have a shop, right? There's still ways to solve all these problems. And it's by putting something in writing. It's by creating another opportunity for that customer to use you as a resource to solve their problem. But it also gives you another way to know what's going on with your customer, an opportunity to talk to them, an opportunity to set up a mechanical loan, an opportunity to get that car fixed and help them out if it makes sense. It creates opportunities for the customer to have to put some skin in the game and have a deductible, because we're not going to do everything for free. And if the expectation is set up front, and if the lines of communication are open, your customers will perform better, the portfolios will perform better, and your cars can be protected from that mechanical repair. And you'll have something in place that doesn't just consist of you handling phone calls on an as-needed basis because somebody's holding their payment hostage because of a service issue, and you just spending policy dollars. So again, CPI is a great product. Limited warranties are great. Service contracts are great. But look further, look a little bit further beyond just selling a product and making money. Look a little bit past just having something that you reinsure, right? What other added benefits come from putting these things in place, right? Black and white policies, deductibles, open lines of communications. And when you control both sides of the coin for the customer, right? When you're the insurance agent and the gap provider, when you're the seller of the car and the fixer of the car, right? When you have the ability, because maybe either at your shop or you've worked with shops who do your recon for you, you've got friends in the area that you send body shops to, we can bring all those guys into the fold. And we can say, hey, I'm going to send all of my customers to your store and your store for oil changes and for this. Can we work something out, right? For my service contract or my limited warranty, I'm going to have my people come to you. Let's work out an internal labor rate. Let's work out a markup on parts that's going to be good for both of us, right? You're helping his business, he's helping yours. But again, it's all about giving the customer affordable options for car insurance to keep the car running and creating as many open lines of communication so that when bad things happen, whether it's insurance related, whether it's mechanical related, whether it's a total loss, right? They already have the habit that when something goes bad, call the dealer. And I think that is just an invaluable tool that we need to be thinking about better ways to do that. So if you're thinking about a reinsurance program, obviously, I highly recommend it. But don't just think of it as car insurance and service contracts, right? It's portfolio protection, it's customer communication, it's good customer retention. It's all of these things that you all know is important, but we struggle with, right? We text them, we do this, we call, they don't care, they don't answer, they don't listen. Well, what would happen if every time something went wrong, they had a couple of phone numbers to call? But at the end of that phone number, and if the person who picked up the phone was either you personally, one of the shops you do business with, or a company like mine, or an administration company that's going to take that phone call, that's going to support your customer, and then immediately get that information to you so that you know what's going on with your customer, your car. You can look at their payment history, you can find out what their balance is, and you can make all kinds of good decisions for your business if you had good communication with the customer. I look at it this way. How many times has your customers gotten themselves into a bad situation? And once you found out what was going on, you realized the whole time, if you would have just called me, we could have fixed that. It happens a lot. So I think that, if you have questions about any type of reinsurance product, if you have a third-party product that you are offering now, if you have something that's implied, like an implied warranty or something that you're offering now, or if your dealership has any type of pain point, whether it be mechanical breakdown or car insurance, or even something like a VSI product, right? Which is vendor single interest, which is like going to cover, expenses associated with repos and skips and, lost keys and getting cars out of, an impound lot. And another way that you can maximize a reinsurance company, but also provide that portfolio protection, right? I think those are all things to have a good conversation about. I'm curious if any of these things are things that you're experiencing in your dealerships related to some of the things that I talked about, and how important do you think it is, and what type of impact would it have on your business if you could get the customer to call you when something went bad rather than hiding from you when something goes bad. From personal experience for me, I found that the more phone numbers that the customer had that led to my dealership or somebody who was supporting me, the better off I was. And I think the same would be true for you. So I'm curious of your thoughts. Again, you have any questions, let me know. Again, I appreciate your guys, giving me the time and watching the videos, and, all the questions and phone calls that I get, after the fact. So, keep those coming. If there is a specific product or topic that you'd like me to cover, feel free to let me know. And I look forward to talking to you guys next Wednesday, and hope everything is going good for everybody. Have a good one.